Yeah.
Can we get it off same place we get everything else? It's being live streamed to the Smile Facebook page.
So you're going to do
If you bring a giant Idaho potato, will you do that?
Would you do it for a donation to LCIF?
Yes.
I do it for a donation for my children's vision. Maybe.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Stefan from the LionsSmile team. I welcome all of you who are here with us to talk a little bit about our experiences with social media, using online communication in whatever form to promote the service in our clubs. Just to make you aware of, we have right in the back sitting my little smartphone, so we do a live streaming of this seminar on the internet. So welcome all of you fellow Lions around the world who are watching from the LionsSmile Facebook page, our seminar. I have with me two fellow Lions this year. It's Richard Stevenson from the South Houston Lions Club in Arizona, and Paul Fugate, that's the right pronunciation, from the Mount Vernon Lions Club. And the three of us will discuss with you together what experiences we made, and mainly Richard will talk about some best practices he used to make the South Houston Lions Club a lot of success, good known and successful on Facebook. So I would say it's a little bit after 2 o'clock. Let's start our session. Oops. Welcome, another fellow Lion in this seminar. Okay, we named our seminar this year, Share Your Success Stories. And this year we just do not only want to talk ourselves, but we want to get into discussion with you. So we also want to hear from your experiences and also, of course, the questions you might have. So we run it in a way that we do a couple of slides, and Richard, Paul, and myself, we talk a little bit about a certain topic, and then you feel free to ask questions, raise your hand, but also we will have, after a few slides, a larger block where we can get into discussions about the topic. Okay, welcome. Feel free to select the group. Hi, nice to see you here in our seminar. And we just move on. So as I said, it's the three of us, Paul, Richard, and myself. We are all burning for promoting social media in our club, and we'll tell about this during the seminar. A few words about LionsSmile. First question to you. Who knows us already? Who knows the team? Hands up. Okay, that's quite the majority. And has one of you already followed our seminars on previous conventions? So at least some of you are also already familiar with us. That's great. Our team really is up since 2012, the Europe Forum in Brussels. It's a team of about 10 people, 10 Lions around the world who try to promote social media. We do not do only the seminar here at the convention, but each one of us does in certain ways support the Lions Club and the districts in their countries with seminars, just with help for fellow Lions and clubs. And this is really about social media for Lions by Lions. That is really important, and it's the difference between just the pure tech sessions where you learn about how to use Facebook. Our mission is really to bring you the Lions view on social media. Talking about online communications, it's really from our perspective the tool to use today to talk to people, to our sponsors, supporters, potential new members about the service we are doing. It's also a very good tool to show the people who are behind the club. Think about if you want to support a cause and you donate probably money and you have no idea who the people are behind who actually bring the money to something, right? So it's always a good thing to associate the faces, the people who are in the club. And I have put here a nice example from Witness Lions Club while they were doing service, and they have really have done a good job in bringing over the spirit they have, the fun also their service has, and that is one of our major goals when we use online communication. And it's about the people we help, we support. You see here a picture of Richard doing one of his famous vision screening projects, and it's also a very good thing to do really live on the scene pictures and use that in your posts you do on your Facebook page, for example. Now, I have already talked a lot about the media we use. The question to you, again, if you want to support a social cause in your community and you, of course, try to get some information about what they are doing, if they have a very poor internet website or Facebook page, would you feel comfortable supporting this group? No? No. So, at least, of course, we are all not media professionals, but at least we want to make sure that the way we are looking on the internet, people feel comfortable with, we are sympathetic people, positive looking, and of course, to this also is that we have some nice looking pictures or graphic images, so people have a positive feeling about the club or the service activity we are trying to promote. And I put up a few examples from Facebook pages. This is a Swiss cyber club, recently chartered, and they have chosen just a picture from the charter event on their Facebook cover. There's also here the Manchester Lions. They have chosen a very nice graphic image. And what you also see, and what is very important, to associate our Lions logo with your pages and with your internet sites, because people should know at the first sight we are Lions, because we are also a brand already in the world, and so each club can really utilize the trust which is within Lions by making clear we are Lions. And on the other hand, we help again to make this effect greater for Lions Clubs International all over the world. So, question to you guys again. Do you have all the Lions logo on your webpage, or how do you handle that?
Lions logo on the webpage.
Lions logo on the webpage, and do you use also a variation with your club name, or?
Yes and yes.
Yes.
Yes and yes? Okay.
We've customized a local emblem with our city that ties us to our club, to our city.
Okay.
We've added the logo to that. We've turned it into our club pin also. So
Okay.
not only do we have the pins, but logo, and if we're sponsoring an event, that's the logo we use, not the international
Okay.
one. So they recognize us at a closer level.
Okay.
I think it's also important that we incorporate the Lions on our page, in our club name, as our, whatever your club is, make sure that it's the Lions.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not-
exactly. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have different photos of what's going on, and we put our club name across the front of it on our front page.
Yeah, okay. But also make sure, and that is who's aware of the brand manual LCI has put on their web pages. Anyone familiar with that? A few of you? Yeah, because why I mentioned that, there are also certain rules. If you use a variation of the Lions logo to make a club logo, that's a good idea, as like what you said, to bring together the local connection with the Lions logo, but also make sure that you adhere to some of the basic rules which are attached to the use of Lions logo, especially also when you might use Lions logo on flyers or if you use it on promotional articles, etc. So it's always also a good idea to go to the lionsclubs.org webpage, and there is a members resource center. Who's familiar with that?
It's in the policy manual.
It's in the policy manual. So who's familiar with the members resources? Also few, so I highly recommend to do that as well. Okay, let me step back for a little bit. I talked to you a few minutes earlier about being professional, having good-looking images and photos. What we always say is reach for the stars, but start small. You know, all this social media thing we are doing here, it's not a thing for weeks or months, but it's for years. So I don't know, how long are you doing your Facebook page for your club? Is it for 1 year, 2 years? Who has a page less than 1 year? 1, 2. Who has it for more than 2 years, probably? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's good. So probably the experience you make, is it run by one person in the club, or?
We got 4 that runs.
One? Always one?
We have 4 that runs ours.
4. Oh, 4. So that's great. Another, but the majority is only one guy running it. Okay. So probably that is something, so you know the hassle sometimes. You're always not 100% able to support this, and makes it difficult. So that is why we are saying it's good to start probably with one platform like Facebook. Of course, you hear and also when you read on the internet, you can use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all these kind of things. But it's if only one person is starting with that, you cannot cope with so many things. So to get yourself feeling comfortable, we say yes, set a goal for you, but then again start small with a little, with one platform, with one page, and grow from there as you go. Also, some clubs might use an external company to run this. Is any of you doing that, or just all homegrown? All homegrown Facebook pages, web pages? Okay, and that's good. Try to be authentic. It does not help if you hire someone professionally, he buys stock photos, whatever, and then it does not look like your club. People are then coming to your activity and asking, wow, that's not the guy I'm seeing at the web page or whatever. So try to be authentic and therefore get your fellow Lions that they also allow you to put pictures from club activities on the page. And then we come to play as a team, get a few guys with you on that. So there might be a few guys who like to do photos, some guys who are good at text. And Richard will tell about more about that. You do not need to be an IT expert to do that. Some of you who have been in our seminars before, see, these are a few topics we covered the last few years. We talked about fundraising, hashtags, posting in multiple languages. These are technical things, and today we really want to show you or tell you about what we use from that to be successful. Some of this contributes, like team up also your Facebook page with your website. So who of you has a website and a Facebook page? Also, most of you. Who has not, I should say? Only Facebook or only website?
Well, I have a Facebook, but Club is a web page.
Club is a web page, okay. And are there any plans to do that? Okay, let's get motivated by the seminar.
We're just new, so the web page is just something that's we haven't built yet.
Okay. And look up the seminar material we have from previous years. We show also the importance of websites, so social media is important, but it's also good to have a kind of a back-ended part of information where you have a long-running information available for the supporters. So that's good. So to wrap it up here, it's important that it's whatever you read about social media, it's important always to translate it into a Lions perspective. And also I encourage you from Lions to Lions. Also be a supporter of your fellow Lions in another club. So if you are doing good, but probably another club does not, help them. So it's really that's what we can do. And what really makes a difference is that you, with your success you are doing, contribute to the brand of LCI and us overall. So, now, first questions from your side, things you want to discuss. Otherwise, Richard would be the next guy and really give you the story about his club and what he did. Yeah.
Quick question, how often do you recommend posting just general information to the club?
Okay, so probably that is something Richard then already. So how often do you post, Richard?
Oh, I'm excessive, but 2 to 3 times a week is probably a good number.
Just general what's going on with the Lions?
If you've got something to say that's worth saying, you can say it, but you can say too much. And I would also say you can put up too many memes. If you're doing something useful in the community, I'd post it.
Okay, any other thoughts about how often do you post? Paul? And what is your?
I do 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, yeah, and so do I, and it comes back to, if you run it on your own, probably you want to use the Facebook scheduling mechanism, at least you do, so you can have probably once a week you prepare stuff and you can schedule that along the week, which helps you also.
Tell me about that.
Okay, I suggest I can do a few sentences about it, but then I would say we meet again at the social media lounge, because there we have laptops and we can do interactively looking at the screen. So basically when you do use the regular post feature, it gives you also a selection of schedule, and then you select a date, but we can go over it in the lounge.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay, so I hand over to Richard, our brand new SMILE team member, and it's your stage.
Greetings from South Tucson.
Rudy.
I'm the president of the South Tucson Branch Specialty Cyber Club. And that's really trendy. It's got all the new words in it. I'm not a techie. I'm not a Facebook person. I didn't join the Lions to become a Facebook person. My goal in life is not to be a Facebook person. My goal in life is to be a Lion. And I need Facebook to succeed as a Lion. I also need a website. I need MailChimp. I need a number of things, but we're going to talk about Facebook here. I'm a vision screener. So at the end of the day, I measure my success with how many kids I screened, how many Lions I recruited, and how much money I got in the door from donors. Facebook helps me do that. When I meet people who are vision screeners and they say, we don't have a Facebook page, we don't have a website, I say, how are you going to tell anybody what you do? How are you going to raise money? How are you going to recruit members? How are you going to get nurses to take you seriously? That's why I do Facebook. There's 3 easy ways to have a successful Facebook page, and they have a lot of coverage. It's very easy, but it's an annuity. So once you do it, it's like money in the bank. You got it forever. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can remember what I'm looking at here. Number 1, you have to be attractive. If you want people to look at your page, you have to have something that makes people want to look at it. Number 1, you're going to be looking for friends. So I don't post things on my Facebook page, my personal profile, that I wouldn't want someone to see who I was trying to recruit as a Lion. I might have personal political opinions about things. I don't put them on my personal profile. It's not helpful. because some Lions might have a different perspective. And the last thing in the world I want them to do is to get in an argument with me on my Facebook page when I'm trying to recruit them. So number one, make your personal profile attractive. You know what a personal profile is? That's your personal Facebook page. Make it attractive. Put a Lions logo up. Put some photos of yourself doing Lions stuff on it. Number two, choose a good cover and profile picture. We'll see one in a few minutes. And a good profile picture is the Lions logo for me. That's what I put on my personal page as well. Choose a domain name. Do you all know what a domain name is? That's a name, for me, it's South Tucson Cyber Lions. That's my domain name. If you go to Google it, you go to the Google, you type that in, you're going to find my website. My website's going to link you to my Facebook page. My Facebook page is going to link you to my website. My business card has my Facebook page and my website on it. Our rack cards, remember rack cards? We're still all doing rack cards. I don't know why. That has the information on it. Posters have all that information on there so they can find your page. When I talk to a nurse for the first time about vision screening, she says, I have questions. I want to know who you are. I say, here's my website. Go there. You'll see a professional organization there. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see what we're doing on a regular basis. Ensure that you have contact information available. I can look at your Facebook page. Now what do? Well, you have an email, have a phone number, have something on there for somebody to contact. That was step one. Step two, have content that people want to see. Posting memes is interesting and fun among Lions, but it's not content that people want to see. If you're vision screening, when I'm vision screening and I'm vision screening 5 days a week, I post 5 days a week. When I'm doing nothing, I'll post less. Because I want to attract people with my service, not with my ego. One attractive photo. Don't put up 40 photos and ask somebody to scroll through all of them and their backs of people's heads and empty dinner plates and people with food in their mouth. One photo. Choose one photo that's a good photo, edit it, and put it up there. Provide a brief description of what it is, what you're doing, and why it benefits the community. A brief description. I have a friend of mine who always posts the address, the time of day, the name of everything, just a brief description. That's step two. Step three, you have to have followers. It doesn't matter what you put on the page if you don't have followers. Quickly, how to get followers. Accumulate personal friends on your personal profile. I went out and I found people I wanted to follow my Facebook page, my club page, and I made them friends. I went to the school board and I found them all on Facebook and I said, be my friend. I went to the local politicians, the local supervisor, the people who write for newspapers. I said, be my friend. How many of these people want to be your friend is amazing. I've got 5,000 friends, 95% of whom I don't even know who they are. Once they're my friend, I can invite them to become my page, my club page. Get people to see your post by tagging. When you put up a post, you tag the person's name on it, so it'll immediately go on their page. So now it's not just on your page, it's also on their page. Sharing, same concept, it's just a different way of putting your post on someone else's page so someone else will see it. Have your partners share your pages and posts. If I'm vision screening at the Tucson Unified School District, I tell the Tucson Unified School District, please put a photo of me on your Facebook page. And can I put a photo of you on my Facebook page? We've got a car dealer in Tucson that gives out $1 million. He gives away a car, and we get to all sell tickets. So I put his car dealership up on my club Facebook page, and I say he's helping us. He puts it up on his car dealership Facebook page and says, we're helping the South Tucson Lions Club. Imagine how many people are seeing all of that. Oops, I took my glasses off. Put them back on again. Invite everyone, once they've seen it, to like your page. If they like a posting, ask them to like your page. That's how you get followers. Lastly, buying targeted ads or boosting a post, paying money. Everything up until now is perfectly free. We know how Lions clubs hate to spend money. But here's a useful investment if it's made wisely. And that means to target your audience, try it, see how it works. You'll be amazed at what works and what doesn't work. And you'll never know until you try it in your community. So that's the 3 easy steps. You got it?
Richard,
problem.
just so probably we give the others the opportunity also, are these things you also recognize from what you are doing, or just that is here? Similar things or other things you have been successful with?
Does he use hashtags much? Hashtags across other organizations?
I have not, but I'm starting to.
Okay.
Because that's a good way to get it out where their groups are seeing it.
Anything that works is good.
Okay, there's been another.
I started my club with the main support of Facebook. Facebook got the message out probably 90+%. That's how I contacted people. I didn't pick the phone up, I didn't send letters, I didn't go out and visit them personally. It was totally Facebook. To get new members in this last June surge, I just got 10 members via Facebook.
And how many of your fellow club members are on Facebook?
100%. 100%.
Wow.
Wow. So
Wow.
amazing. That also with the others, or no?
No.
Just you, or no? It's just you, or only a few guys, or
It seems to be, the older generation doesn't, quite want to go in there.
okay.
The older generation.
The older generation.
Yeah, those old people.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but also when you talk about older generation, I just met up in our social media lounge on Friday. I met Doris. Doris is 81 years old. She's club secretary in Florida, in a club in Florida, and she's saying, I survive all the tools. I learn it step by step, and she's very tough with those tools. And so it's really, I can encourage you, keep on motivating your fellow Lions. Such things are not a matter of age. Look at me, look at Richard, Doris. I have a post with Doris and myself on our page. It's really a mindset. And listen to what Richard is telling, and hopefully we can get also our fellow members' comments. But go on.
So in 2014, I joined the South Tucson Lions Club. We have no Facebook page. We don't allow anything to go on email. That's the devil's magic box. We can't do anything with it. It's scary. 2014, that's 4 years ago. So I start a Facebook page. My goal is to build a brand image for a 70-year-old Hispanic club that's extremely well connected in the local community, but is the best kept secret. Have we ever heard that before? Our major projects are with kids and youth mariachi. Mariachi is Mexican music, and Tucson is the heart of youth mariachi in the United States, and vision screening. So we start this Facebook page with aggressive marketing and aggressive posting. I made Facebook friends with all the mariachis and the schools and the school boards and the nurses and the parents and politicians and whatnot, as I said. Connected with schools and mariachi Facebook pages, shared links, friended followers, requested all to do the same, got some of my club members to go on Facebook. But the goal was not to get every Lion to go on Facebook, because I don't have the rest of my life to devote to that. Facebook is a tool to work in the community, not to force people to join Facebook who don't want to. I requested school district photographers and videographers to participate. I'm going to a school in a little town. Before I got there, I called the local newspaper that has a newspaper once every 2 weeks, and I said, we're going to be going out there. Can you join us? And he said, sure. I said, do you need permission? He said, nah, this is a small town. We know what we're doing. But they're going to be there. And I used a few targeted ads. So that was 4 years ago. What are the results? Our club has 7,300 followers, 7,300 followers. Anybody got more than that? Remember, I'm not a techie. I picked up Facebook 4 years ago. Our brand is well established in our community. We're the Mariachi Lions. Everybody knows who we are. We're able to vision screen over 55,000 children in the last 2 years. We just started our branch Cyber Lions Club, and in 6 months we've got 23 members. We've raised enough money to pay for the vision exams and glasses for all the kids that we're going to do, and we're going to do vision screening again this year. So what did I say my goals were? Recruiting new Lions, we got new Lions. Raising money, we raised money. And vision screening kids, we were able to do that. And we have a brand now that I have nurses calling me, asking me if I can please come and vision screen, and I'm saying no, I'm full. On Saturday morning on the bus to the parade, I was talking to a nurse on the phone saying, I'm sorry, I'm full, but would you be willing to join our club? We're going to be vision screening her school, and she joined our club while I was on the bus. And I will say she was able to do that by going to our website and filling out the form and paying online at the same time. So this whole thing helps you be a Lion and helps you be successful at being a Lion. If you think you're going to run a project over here, a big vision screening project, and not be involved in any of this, you're not going to achieve the kinds of heights that you could otherwise.
Richard, could you
Yes, ma'am.
Could you discuss the attaching the application to your Facebook page process?
Yes, but that would be best done at the Smile Info Tech area.
Social media.
Social.
Okay, so they can help you.
It's a technical issue that
Okay.
we would be happy to help you with offline.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool.
We have free software. We'll give it to you.
Please.
Okay.
Okay. Any other guy doing vision screening and wanting to hire Richard for It's amazing what you're doing, Richard. Okay, next slide.
Please. Okay, attractive. This is our Facebook profile picture. It's a great picture, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was taken by a school photographer and given to us. So it's great. I use it. There's our Lions logo. It's attractive. It says Lions. It says love. It says pretty people. They're smiling. Wouldn't you want to join that club? Next slide, please.
Yeah. But just before I do next slide, have a look on the profile logo. Recognize something? The lion's nose is not cut off. So I see a lot of lions having the Lions logo here in the profile picture, and due to the dimensions of the logo, typically the tip of the nose got cut off. So go to the LionsSmile.org, to our website. We have custom logos, pictures, so you can just download them and upload them for you. So we put some white space around it so you don't have to hassle with all the graphics. So that is then also a benefit you can use.
This is a wonderful point. There's no reason in the world for you to have to invent anything. There are Lions available at Smile, at the Cyber Lions Group. There's YouTube. All of this stuff is out there. You just need to copy it and liberate it for the revolution.
Yeah. There will be, at the end, we will talk a little bit about resources. So we will tell you where you go to find such information. But Richard wanted the next slide, so let's do it. One of my favorite pictures of him, by the way.
I was vision screening kids, and they were crawling all over me, and I said to my wife, "Get my phone, take a picture, take a picture." She pulled out a phone, snapped about 30 pictures, 29 of them were horrible. One of them was great. You may have seen this picture in Lion Magazine in the May issue. This is a great photo. This sells. So I share that with you. It is the kind of attractive photo that you want to have on your page. Next slide.
Next slide, okay.
You can never have too much cute. These are folklóricos.
So you're not talking about yourself, right?
Sometimes I'm cute. What can I say? These are folklóricos. In the mariachi world, the folklóricos are the dancers, and this is a group, a team that comes to one of our events, and I took their picture, and they're just as cute as they can be, and I got permission from the team before I did it. Keep in mind, with kids, you always want to be careful about posting, and you ideally like to have written permission before you do it. In the case of some of these teams, like bands and football teams and whatnot, the schools gain that permission beforehand and can grant that to you. And I'll show you that in a second. Next slide, please. Okay, this is PCC Gerson and Lion Merriam. And they both have the best smiles in the world, don't they? Yeah. They also have a lot of friends. So whenever I take a picture, I always go up and I say, "Okay, can I take your picture? I'm going to post it to my Facebook page, and you say yes, and I make sure you don't have a drink in your hand, and you don't have a plate in front of you, and I can't take my camera, and I go, ha, 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 ha. Look at, he's smiling. You see that? That's what happens. That smile will sell, sell like crazy. Then I tag both of them. Gerson has 3,000, 5,000 people that follow him, and his tag showed up, and they all saw it. Same with Mariam. So tag the people in your photos, and you'll get to be seen all over the place. Next photo, please. This is, always have your brand ready to be shown. And we happen to be vision screening in the Sunnyside Unified School District, and there were these hearts on the wall, and the sign was there, and the kids did it, and they took a picture, and so somebody says, well, do you have permission for that? I didn't take the picture, the school took the picture for me. They posted it on the school website, and I downloaded it and posted it to my page. If I had shared it to my page, then the likes would have gone back to the school website. So I posted it to my page, so all the likes will go to me. That's another one of those magic photos that works. And I've had several times, whenever I post it more than once, I'll get these women from South Tucson going, hey, there's my little Jose. Little Joselito is in the picture, and oh yeah, and they're all liking it because they see it, and as part of the community, it's great to be seen. Yes, sir.
Would you repeat that part about getting the likes? I missed some of that.
When there's a post on Facebook and someone likes it, if it's your post, you'll see reach. 20 people it was reached, and 12 people liked it. You click on the like, and it lists all the people, and if they haven't liked your page, it'll say invite. You go down and click invite. And I'll show you in just a second a wonderful way to do that. Would you share the next one, please? I have to jump ahead, but I'll get back to it. This was flags for first graders, and the where, when, why up at the top, very brief, and it's kind of a cute photo. And this is Ochoa Community Magnet School, hamming it up with first graders for flags for first graders. Next slide, please.
That is the invite one.
Yeah. Okay. So when you click on when people like it, this is the list you'll see. So you see the invite. You just click on that, and that invites them. They'll see an invitation to like your page. And you won't get them the first time. And once you invite them once, you won't get to invite them again, unfortunately. But if they're friends, you can go in and invite them too. That's another trick you can get over at the Tech Center. Next, please. Okay, who are these people? This is the Sunnyside School Board giving us an award, and I tagged all of these people. And so the school board members are politicians. They all have big followings. So we can see Rene Redondo, Richard Gastelum, all of these people, and the school board president's a member of our cyber club, by the way. Because the first guy I went to, and I said, we're going to be supporting your entire school district. We're going to screen every kid in your school district, 17,000 kids. But I need you in the club. He said, sure. Signed up. So these are all the people that are tagged in this. So it's going to show up on their website. When they like it, that's when you get them. Okay. Lion Bob didn't come to this event. I tagged him right here. Lion Phil didn't come to this event. I tagged him right here. Lion Susan didn't come to this event. I tagged her. I tagged the whole Lions Club across the bottom of this thing. It showed up on everybody's page. It's not against the law. And I got all of their relatives and all the rest of them. Just be cautious of not tagging people who shouldn't be tagged. I mean, that's good sense. I mean, I can tag some of my lions because I know who they are, right? But I wouldn't tag strangers, for example. That's not appropriate.
And probably your fellow Lions might get into a discussion about being the knee of someone on the picture.
Well, it shows up where here. It doesn't necessarily show up where it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I always do it at the top, you know. Okay, this is Jan Sissons. She's a nurse, and we found a child that had high risk for amblyopia. And she called me and she told me, and I said, would you send me an email, please, and tell me that, and give me the details and thank me? And she said, yeah, I will. And I dropped by and I took a picture of them. So I posted it to our page, and I said, this nurse, and here's the details of it. And then I posted it to More Women in Lions, LCIF International, Jackie, what are all the rest of your pages I can post on? I posted it to GMT, GLT, EIEIO, everything I could find. Look at this number here. That reached 30,000 people. And it didn't cost me a penny. And there were 652 likes, many from people I didn't know. I went and invited all of them. So that one worked out well. Which ones works and which ones don't, you'll never know until you do it. And it'll shock you. When that got to be 30,000, I was shocked. Other ones that are great that go nowhere, I'm shocked. So the only way is trial and error. And you asked a question about who does your Facebook page, who does your photography. Is there another slide?
So there is one more for you, yeah?
Okay. Targeting, posting, boosting, spending money. Lions don't like to spend money. I would be cautious about it. I would do what works, and if something works, I'd do it again. And you can invest 10 or 20 bucks, and that's not going to kill me. I'd pay for it out of my pocket. If it works, then great. If it doesn't, I won't do it again. And that's the money angle. So almost everything you can do here, you can do for free. So that's my speech. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Richard. Before we move on to the next topic, what are your experiences that? Do you recognize most of the stuff Richard was talking about? See a lot of nods, okay, or new stuff?
There are ways to do it.
Sorry?
New ways to do it.
New ways
to get the likes.
I like that. Yeah, especially, and that is a good yeah, Jeff.
Hashtags were mentioned back here, and Richard said he's starting to use hashtags. I'm familiar with them, but what hashtags do you use? What are appropriate?
There are a few ones which are well known, like hashtag Lions Clubs. This works all over our organization. But feel free to make up your own within your district or your club. So what I do with my club, I typically use the hashtag Lions Whistle Sign, so that's the name of my club. But what's also important to use, for example, just hashtag the name of the city or the community. Some of you already mentioned that to get the hook into your community. And another important thing, what Richard mentioned, is really Lions talk. Yes, we all tend to just circle around our Lions internal talk, but in the end, the audience we want to reach is the outside world, if you will. And coming to the hashtag, if you run vision screening, you would typically do a hashtag vision screening, for example. If you run diabetes projects, you would also do hashtag diabetes, because people are not probably looking in first place for Lions clubs, but they look for diabetes, they look for any other cause you might support. Volunteering, stuff like that. So probably do not overdo it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 max hashtags, which is a good mix between Lions, recognizing you as Lions, but also recognizing the cause to get people on board. And the second thing, what you will also find in our material is hashtags, of course, works best with Twitter or Instagram. Unfortunately, Facebook is a kind of gated community a little bit, so you cannot search very well through Google on those hashtags. It mainly works in the Facebook search, but not outside, unfortunately. And some of you mentioned at the beginning, you're using also Walls.io, stuff like that, to combine things. If you want to combine various postings, if you do it on a district level, for example, hashtags are a good thing, but to grab it, to capture, it does not work very well with Facebook pages.
So the hashtag is something that's searchable?
Yep.
Okay, I thought that was something to let Lions International know that we've done something.
And that is in addition doing, so Jackie and her colleagues are closely watching you, what
So
you
they're
do.
searching for that. Okay.
No, and it's a good way. And another thing I will mention at the end, in the resource section, we talk a little bit how to interact with our group, with LCI, to be able to promote certain things. And we do that in the resource section. Anything else for now? Otherwise, we would get Paul in the boat and talk a little bit. Yeah, one more question.
So I want to say something. I want to mention about the great contribution to Lions by two highest officials of Lions International. One is the wife of immediate past president, Bob Corlo. She died now. Whenever international president visited the place, various places, she gave full account of wherever he went in a very nice manner. So we felt as if we are also traveling with the international president. The second mention I would like to make is of Barry Palmer. When he was the international president, he had a big Facebook following, and during the Summer Forum and maybe at some other forum also, he arranged meeting of his Facebook friends. Even at 6 o'clock in the morning, he had a meeting at Hyderabad. So this way, I think he made good use of this social media for interacting with the Lions also.
Yeah, that's a true statement, and it shows also we of course need to encourage not only on a club level, but also talk to your district governors, talk to your international directors you are supporting. They should also support your business. So if you, like Barry Palmer, he's doing very great. I really love what he's doing.
Yeah.
And they should also support you on social media. And some of those are more or less familiar, and so we should also encourage those leaders in our organization to follow us, in this case, with social media. But I think I hand over to Paul, and he tell you a little bit more about what you do.
So speaking of Barry Palmer, I decided to take a page from Barry Palmer's playbook and start our club Facebook page. And my two goals for my club's Facebook page was to increase our identity in the community and hopefully get members out of it, because the people in my community, which is a town of about 4,000, did not really know anything about us. We do a bingo tent every year, but none of my members wore any Lions apparel, so they didn't even know the Lions Club did the bingo tent. And then they didn't even know what the money was going towards. They thought it was for the town celebration committee, is what most of them thought. So we needed to increase our brand in the community. So the next slide, please. So as we were saying earlier, make sure the page is attractive. Like I said, and one thing we did is we started like sharing our events actually in the community. Like if we had our bingo coming up, if we had a movie night or a movie theater coming up, and it started working really, really well. We would always say, this is what the money is going towards, this is what we're doing. And it just kind of snowballed from there on people who followed us. And then, like I said, I post 4 times a week on our Facebook page, and it just works so well. The next page. So I do use memes, but I use them differently. So these are the 3 most popular memes from my page. But I use them in effective ways. The first one, the Lions We Serve. What I did is I made a list of all the entities in our community and around the world we donated to for that year. And it got a huge following from the community that the city council page and our community development page, which is our Chamber of Commerce, or shared that. And then I had about 1,500 views from that. And the other thing I did, speaking of tagging, is if that entity had a Facebook page, I tagged each single one in that using that picture, but I set in a status what all our money goes towards, and it was shared 23 times, and half of them was from those entities. The next one I did was just a general membership one, like our Lions to-do list here, and it was very successful. We actually got 1 member out of this one, and we got 5 new members this year in my club, which is only 39 now, but 3 of them came from Facebook. Is how we did it, which is a really good ratio. And this is the one that was our most popular from our page. I don't know if you can read it, but it says, it's from Bill Gates, and Lions are extraordinary fundraisers, but the true value of Lions is measured in something far more valuable than dollars. It's measured by the commitment and service of its members. And this one was our most popular post we've ever done. And what I said in the status is I used Like Bill Gates says, Lions Club is the best thing ever, you know, in the world. And this got, I think, like 12,000 views, and it got shared all over the internet on various Lions pages, other things, and I got another 2 members to sign up off of this, but I use my memes effectively. I just don't post the meme randomly. I actually use them as a marketing tool and how I can use them well as a marketing tool.
What does the term meme mean?
This is a meme. Like a meme is a photo that has a quote on it. It's any kind of photo that you post on social media with a saying, message, something like that. Next slide, please, Ryan Richard. So where do I find most of these at? Like, so Pinterest is a really, really good one, and nobody really uses it. That's where all of Lions Club's marketing photos are at, and it works really, really well. Plus other people who've made them. The marketing department makes it, and I always like to follow other clubs' pages because a lot of clubs will make their own, and I love using them like that. So it works really well for us. But I also take a book from Richard's page, and I also put our service activities of what we do in there. Like we just recently painted a gazebo in our town, and what we did is I created an event, and I used our community development group's email list to send out, hey, we need help painting this gazebo. We got 10 volunteers to show up, and we're going to sign up 2 members out of that 10. We just did a community service project as a membership recruiting tool, and we got 2 members out of the deal. Plus, it gives us good PR, and it's just a good service activity for us to do.
How many Lions?
I was the only one. But that was okay because we had other volunteers to help us, and we got more members out of the deal. That's how my club does to attract members. We do service projects. Next slide, please, Richard.
That's your
that's it?
That's it? Yeah.
That's it? Okay. One other thing I did is we had Pastor to Governor Ronnie Martin come up to a town in my district to recruit and start a new club. My job in this whole thing was to use social media to help get members. So I decided, like, okay, I'm going to create an ad, but I'm going to use targeting like Richard said, and I use the tags of volunteering, community service, civic groups, you know, things like that to pinpoint and target my audience on this town of 2,000 people. I used the 100th anniversary video that they did. I figured that's a real good marketing thing. It actually is not pictured, it's a video. You can see what we're doing around the world. And we chartered with 28 members, and we got 7 of them to respond to our page who wanted to be members off of that. So 7 of the 28 came from social media, and we just gave their information to the Blitz team in town. And that's how we use both on the ground grassroots organizing and using technology as well. And the nice part was when the Blitz team actually went into businesses to say, hey, we're with the Lions Club, we want to start a club here. They're like, oh, I saw that ad on that. I wanted to get more information anyway. So it was a 2-level prong attack approach when we got to this town, and now this town, and we chartered the club within 1 week because we used both grassroots and social media to help us charter that club. So that's my success story of how we use social media in my little part of Iowa.
Okay, thank you, Paul. No, you have to stay here. so now it's your part. So what is your success story, or probably what is the thing you are struggling with?
Stefan, may I clarify one thing?
Sure.
When I'm talking about memes, I would consider those not, to me they're memes, but those are very effective, targeted advertising tools. Those are kind of messages. What I'm talking about memes is the endless series of lions walking in the snow and all of the rest of this stuff that I see on so many pages that just puts you to sleep when you've seen the same photo for 100 times. I would avoid things that don't have a specific message that you want to get across, and once you've gotten it across, don't use it again for a while. That was what I think those were great.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that Lions emblems are on clip art also on Microsoft. If you're creating a poster or something, I've gone to clip art and been able to get Leo's logos and Lions.
Yeah, okay. Similar experience in your group? So that's a good thing. We have also, and this brings me a little bit to my next slide here, talking about resources. It's always a question we face over the last 5 years. People are asking us, okay, I understand I need good looking content, I can do text, but yeah, where do I get the graphics from? And Paul mentioned already the marketing department of LCI. They provide quite some nice graphics, but also during some of the conventions they did photo shootings of volunteering lines. I don't know, Jackie, are we still doing that, or?
No, we're not still doing that. Our brand is focusing more of Lions in action rather than posed in front of a blank screen. But yeah, photos of your own club in the community, helping people, that's the kind of brand statement we're trying to make.
So if you are in need, or your fellow Lions are still a bit hesitant to get themselves in front of the camera, a first approach might still be go to the marketing, and I did with our national convention in Germany. I used quite a bit those photo resource. Another thing which was mentioned also in one of the tech sessions outside in the Tech Zone is a tool called Canva. You find it by canva.com, it's their website, and they have, it's a nice tool for people who are not too much into the technical details. It's very easy to use, and the big plus is they have a huge amount of free photos, graphics, and you can very easily create your own images, and they provide already templates for Facebook, for Instagram, and other social media. And advice I can give you, Canva.com, they also provide an extra service for non-profit organizations. So if you apply for a non-profit account with Canva.com, you even get a much larger resource of pictures for free to use there. So that is something I really recommend. But probably you have other resources as well to use to pick up graphics, or probably you are all artists and do them yourselves. So I can really recommend, go to our LionsSmile.org website. We had in previous conventions, we also talked about where to find free graphics. Another thing Paul mentioned is networking amongst clubs. Really follow other clubs. They are happy, so you help them probably when they start to get the base number of followers, but also you get really inspired, and that basically is the way I made friends with Richard in the first place. So actually, Richard, I have to correct you, it's about 2 years ago. I recognized what you are doing on Facebook, and it's just the inspiration. Or if you remember the cover slide of today's show, it's there was a famous article on the Line magazine with the Crosby Lions Club, where it was introduced 5 years ago, I think 5 or 6 years ago, how they started social media, and they have also very nice images and pictures available. So you get some inspiration, but also always make sure that you ask your fellow Lions whether can probably utilize screenshots or graphics or whatever you do.
Okay, as a novice, not knowing any of that, I have the webpage I have, or Facebook. I see what on here, my club does have a Facebook page. So what is the beginning steps then if I want to get them to go on to a Facebook page?
Yeah, the beginning step would be rather you have you have one person with a Facebook profile. There are easy steps you will find in the Facebook menu. Create page.
Okay.
You answer a few questions, and again, we have lots of material to help you, to guide you through the initial steps on our website. So we have a brief.
So I go to your website so I can
Yeah.
get.
So you see it here. We have it on all
Yeah.
the slides. LionsSmile.org, and we did it last year. We updated it because, as you know, all the social platforms, they change little things. So if we do screenshots, it might not always look 100% identical. But so these give you the easy steps. And one advice I can give you, really make sure it's not only one person being the owner of that page then, but so the first who starts with it is able to associate other fellow Lions as well as administrators, if you call that. And that makes sure that if something goes wrong with your profile, you don't lose the access to your club's fan page. That is an important thing. I got 5 to 5 messages each year asking Stefan, how do I get access to my club's fan page? It's locked because the guy who did it left or died or whatever is angry about us, and so we get lost. So always make sure you work as a team here, and we have, even on the presentations from previous conventions, we have really in-depth material about best practice, how you can move forward. And Richard, yeah.
I think the hardest thing for a Lions Club is to decide that they want a Facebook page. Making the Facebook page is very easy. You can go to the club next door and ask them to help you, or you can go to your district. There should be somebody at your district level that's there to help you. The hardest thing is to get, I went into our district, I helped 15 clubs start Facebook pages, and 3 years later, they're kind of dormant because people weren't really ready to take it on. And what he was saying is the most important thing you have to keep in mind in the world when you start a page. Have at least 2 or 3 other people be admins. Make your wife an admin. Make Charlie's an admin back there on a group page I just started. He has nothing to do with it. But if I die tomorrow, somebody can at least shut that page down. And that's important.
Yeah.
Earlier, we had a discussion about converting a group to a page and vice versa. Now, for somebody who's starting out, what would be the recommendation? Which way they go?
Definitely go with the page first. And as I mentioned to you earlier, so that's a typical way. You create your personal profile, Richard mentioned, you create a club page, and from there, if you really get interactive things going on, you get contacts in your community, or you run a special event each year, you might then open up an associated Facebook group, where then, if you have one of our fellow Lions, they run a seafood festival each year with 50,000 people in 1 week. And so probably that might be a nice idea to open a Facebook group where people can exchange their ideas, experiences, etc.
Yeah, those big events, if you publicize them on Facebook, you will not only improve your draw, but you can also put tickets available online through PayPal. And it cuts the crush down remarkably. It also increases your net, because a lot of people, about 10% of your attendees will buy tickets and for whatever reason not make it to your fundraiser. So that's just pure money that you can get out of the net. I was going to add that I completely agree with everything that's been said so far, but the really great part about your own page is that it's simple to administer. You don't have everybody ran out and got web pages 10 years ago, and a lot of those web pages are like time capsules now for the exact reasons that you mentioned. So the beauty of Facebook and Instagram as well is they're very, very simple to run. You don't really have, if you can run an iPad, you can run anything. If you look at your grandkids' pictures on an iPad, you can run a Facebook group or page. My club right now is 40% recruited through Facebook.
Wow.
40%. And we're going back to 100 members by the end of this year. We'll have 2 separate membership drives. They'll be conducted on Facebook entirely. And that's the tip of the iceberg of how we're using that tool.
Stephen, can I make a comment about groups, please? when I talk to a club and they say, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, and I say, you need a Facebook page because you need to talk to the community.
Right.
You need a website, and I use eClubhouse because it's free and the Lions support it, and when you lose your password, somebody will find it for you.
Really?
Your
Yeah,
Facebook
Dan
page,
outside will do it.
yeah, and your Facebook page is your newspaper. Your website, your eClubhouse, is your encyclopedia. It's where you store the data that doesn't change, that you want people to find, your procedures, your officers list, whatever it might be. So you need both. An internal group, I use an internal group for stuff inside the club because you control who gets to see it. So if you want to publish your financial statements only to your members, you do it on a Facebook group. You don't want to publish it to the community. And I don't want my club looking at a Facebook page. I've got a club with 76 members in it. The average age of the parent club is 74 years old, and we've got less than 40% who are even on Facebook. So let alone being recruited by it. And our cyber club, we're 100% on Facebook because we don't want you if you're not on Facebook because it's too much work trying to communicate. You can join the parent club.
And that age is what?
22 years younger than the parent club. So the question you have to ask yourself, and I'm not saying that's bad, because they can stay out there and they can do their thing. But if we want to be around in 20 years, we darn well better be attracting people 22 years younger and 22 years younger than that. And that's a beginning. And I think Facebook, they say, is going away for the younger people, and I'm not going to attract 19-year-olds. But at least we're serving in the meantime and attracting people through our service.
Yeah, and another thing about the age, the benefits of Facebook pages are you get also some statistics, and also then you see how old your visitors are, how old your followers are, so you get age ranges. So of course I do not see how old you are when you follow my page, but you contribute to an anonymous statistics. And for my club, I have to say, even though there are only a few guys who are on Facebook themselves, we did similar things like what Richard did, try to hook into the local VIP guys and network with them. And I can say we attract mainly 40s and up, but of course we also have guys who are in the 20s and 30s, but that's probably not the majority. So for us, the main audience is 40 to 60 who are actively interacting with us. But the other thing, and thank you for that, Richard, I agree, Facebook and other social media tools are a very good thing because they're easy to start. But again, for certain things, it's a very good thing we recommend to have a website. Not because if you look for something which happened a few months ago, it's not so easy to dig that down on Facebook, and a lot of people do not even recognize. Of course, you can search there as well. So for each thing, there is a proper tool. Like what we say, post 3 to 4 times a week if that works. But if you can do it only once a week, I would say, if you do it once a week, but you do it every week, that's also a consistency in your audience then might follow that or get used to that as well. Important is you have really something to say, what Richard said, and you have some consistency. And make sure people recognize you as Lions. So that is overall something you should really keep in mind.
I just want to mention, my club doesn't have it, but on my Facebook, like when I was watching the flags today,
yep.
I went on Facebook a lot live, and I did the whole thing. And who's going to watch a 30-minute program, 40-minute program? So I look at it, it's like, wow, I had about 75 people view that. It's
wow.
Like, wow, I was amazed.
Yeah, so
it's like,
surprise yourself by some success.
If I had my own web page, my Facebook page, and my club agrees, I can have my club's name connect with my web page out of that and begin starting there. And then you're saying within my district we'll have somebody in the media, or I can check with one of my kids who are media savvy and help me in that area. So
that's fine. Yeah.
Just to get going. So.
Yeah. important is that you start, and then you will find a friend, someone in the family or a fellow Lion who can keep you going. And that is the message we will send out. We are there, Richard is there, Paul is there, the whole SMILE team is there. LCI provides lots of material. Again, and this brings me to resources again. A lot of the questions you ask about domain and best practice, also with emails and stuff like that, really I encourage you, go to LionsSmile.org. We have lots of material covered over 5 years. And that brings me again to the value of a website. So it's easy for you now to look it up, to download those documents. Of course, we have also a lot of valuable posts on Facebook. But if they are 4 years old, and of course we also try to recycle them every once in a while, it's much more difficult for you to look it up. But it's easy for me to say, hey, go there, and you find it. And may I say this, so in a few months from now, we will also move a little bit more closer even into lionsclubs.org. We have a well-established relationship with marketing, and I think we are both very happy that we together join forces, the SMILE team and the LCI team, to really serve you, but also we are really happy to get your feedback and your interaction, because you will recognize that as being the social media guy in your club. If you just talk and broadcast and there is no response, that's A, frustrating, and B, after a certain while you ask yourself, doing the right thing, or so it's really good to hear also from you outside. And that brings me to finally probably the Facebook groups as a resource. Richard is very successfully running a Cyber Lions group, and really respect and applause for you doing that. We have a few other Facebook groups as well. There is a LionsSmile Facebook group, of course. We run, and we are really happy to see you there, asking questions, tell us what we do right and wrong, what we probably should focus on for you in our posts. And of course, we would really love to hear how you are doing, because that is why we are here. And the time we put in, it's also the time we want to give you. And so we are happy to hear from you. And unless there are more questions from your side?
I got a comment.
Huh?
I live in a small town, actually 2 towns built together, and combined population is like 90,000. I didn't hear anything about the Lions Club until I got introduced to it 4 years ago.
Oh.
And I want to introduce the past president right here for the club,
okay. Justin
Mendoza, and I'm the incoming president.
Okay.
But there was not a single advertisement in the local paper or radio or whatever it is about the Lions Club, or even a sign as you enter the township.
Yep.
On the freeway. And we're right by the freeways. It's really amazing. Then, but I hear about the Kiwanis, I hear about the Rotary Club, and other social clubs that are doing all kinds of stuff for the community, but none whatsoever for the Lions Club. But now that I'm in it, I even found out that we have a public relation officer, but nothing was put on the paper, unless he was on there for when he became president.
Yep.
And there was a big old, picture and a caption, which was great, but that's the only way you get to hear about it. I heard about it through a lawyer friend of mine, and we were out there at the driving range practicing golf, right? And all of a sudden, Dave, come on over and I'll buy you lunch. What for? Well, just come on over at the local bowling alley. So I went to the bowling alley, I had a free lunch. It turned out to be the Lions Club. It was a Lions Club meeting. So, and I'm a social guy. I like to work with, I'm a past president of other social clubs from a different county in California. So it's what's in here that really counts.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Definitely true. So I think we all can agree with that.
Yes.
So thank you for this final words. I think it really matches up what we wanted to address today. Thank you for being here. You have to promise me to visit our social media groups, to give us your feedback on our Facebook pages, whether it's the individual ones or LionsSmile.org. We want to see you again on some conventions in future. And again, thank you for being here. I have a few pins from our team left from last year.
Are you going to be at USA Candidate on?
Sorry?
USA Candidate Forum?
There might be. We used to be there with one of our team members once in a while, but not regularly. So if we find a volunteer, there will be also SMiLESeminar, but I cannot promise so far. Okay, so again,
we also
thanks.
have social media handouts. We didn't bring them here, but they're at the tech zone. And also, if you go in the LCICon app and you search social media, there'll be resources there for you.
Again, so sorry I missed that. Yeah, the tech zone, so in the exhibit hall, that's the marquee ballroom. There's a tech zone, and there you will find us all over the convention. Again, thank you, and we'll close the session.